The excretory system. So when we look at the excretory system in your textbook, it starts on page 469. And it says, what are the functions of the excretory system? It says you have toxic waste in your body. That doesn't sound good. As your cells perform the chemical activities that keep you alive, waste products such as carbon dioxide and ammonia are made. These waste products are toxic to cells. So they've said the word toxic twice, so that must be important. So what does toxic mean? If something is toxic, it is harmful to your body. It can cause injury, could possibly cause death. And so when we talk about something being non-toxic, that means it's not harmful, like Play-Doh. They make Play-Doh non-toxic because sometimes kids put it in their mouth, and they don't want anything that could harm a child by accidentally putting it in their mouth. That doesn't mean you should eat Play-Doh, but it's not going to kill you if you do. So toxic means harmful, or could cause injury, could cause death. So when we talk about carbon dioxide and ammonia being waste products, if those build up in the cell, then homeostasis, or that balance, is disrupted, and the cell could actually die. When we talk about the function of the excretory system, it is to eliminate these cellular waste from the body. And there are a few different organs that do this. So at the bottom where it says to sweat, your skin is part of the excretory system, but it's also part of the integumentary system. Integumentary means skin. So if you've ever tasted sweat, you know it's kind of salty. So the waste products, such as excess salts, are released through your skin as you sweat. Now, you also sweat because maybe your body temperature is high and you need that evaporation off of your skin to cool it down. But it also is part of the excretory system, so it releases waste through your, you could put skin or pores in your skin, okay? You also have lungs. Your lungs are part of the excretory system, but they're also part of the respiratory system, and they release water and the toxic carbon dioxide when you exhale. So list 2 waste products that are released when you exhale, blank and blank. We just highlighted them. And then finally, your kidneys are part of the urinary system and also the excretory system. They remove all types of cellular waste products from your blood. Sorry, somebody tore this page off, not very good. So the waste are filtered from your blood in the nephrons of your kidneys. So your urinary system filters waste out of your blood. Okay, on to the next page. So the urinary system is actually part of the excretory system, just like cardiovascular is part of the circulatory system. Sometimes people use these interchangeably as if they mean exactly the same thing, although they don't. So when we look at your urinary system, it's going to collect cellular waste and eliminate it from your body in the form of liquid waste. We call that urine. These waste products enter the urinary system through your kidneys. So that is the function of the urinary system. Now, each of these organs or parts, components of the excretory and specifically urinary system are listed here. So your kidney is one of a pair of organs that remove waste from the blood. So pair means there's 2. Inside each kidney there are some million microscopic structures called nephrons, and that is where the fluid is filtered from the blood into the nephron through a structure called a glomerulus. You don't actually have to know that one. But that filtered blood leaves the glomerulus and circulates around the tubes that make up the nephron, and they return valuable salts and ions to the blood. The tubes in the kidney collect the waste from the nephrons, and then water and the waste are filtered out of the blood to form what we call urine. That urine travels from the kidney to your bladder in something called ureters. It's a tube, okay, that connects the kidney to the bladder. Your bladder is actually just a sac-like organ that stores the urine. Voluntary muscles hold the urine until it's ready to be released, okay? Now, it's not voluntary when you're first born, right? Because little babies can't really control when they go to urinate and when they don't. That's why they have to wear a diaper. When you get really old, sometimes that voluntary muscle, you've lost control of it. And so sometimes even really old people don't have control of their bladder and they have to go back to wearing diapers. But most of your lifetime, it's a voluntary muscle that holds the urine until it's ready to be released, and then you can contract and squeeze urine out of the body through the urethra, which is the tube where the urine exits your body. Okay, so let's take a look at your notes, and we're going to fill these in. So the first blank is going to be the excretory system. And we said that the main function was to eliminate cellular waste from the body. And it did that with the help of a lot of other body systems. For example, the respiratory system. The lungs exhale carbon dioxide, which is the waste product, CO2. It also exhales a little bit of water, but not much. And then your skin, which is part of the integumentary system, gets rid of some of the excess salts in your sweat. And the kidneys remove ammonia from your blood, and they turn it into urea, which is actually a kind of salt that is then mixed with water in your bladder, and that becomes your urine. So specifically the urinary system, which main function is to collect and eliminate cellular waste, mostly ammonia, which is toxic, and turn it into a non-toxic material called urea. That is dissolved in water and leaves the body as urine. Now, all of the water doesn't actually leave the body. Most of the water is reabsorbed by the blood so that you don't become dehydrated. The components or the parts of the urinary system include 2 kidneys, and that's a pair of bean-shaped organs that contain nephrons, which filter the ammonia from your blood and transform it into urea. The kidneys are connected to the bladder by ureters. Those are tubes that connect the kidney to the bladder, and the bladder is actually a sac-like organ that stores your urine until you get a chance to remove it from your body. And when you go to urinate, it exits your body through a tube called the urethra. So we're going to cut this out and glue it onto page 32, onto page 32 in your journal. Okay, so this is another format of notes. Let's see if you can use your textbook pages and your notes that we put on page 32 to fill in this. These are called doodle notes. So starting in the top corner, it says lungs are also a part of the, and you're going to put respiratory system. And they remove carbon dioxide from the blood and then also from the body, but they actually take it from the blood in the alveoli. And down to the bottom where it says digestive system, notice it has a little arrow to here, so we're going to write digestive system. Because the digestive system also is removing waste, sometimes people include it with excretory, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not specifically part of the excretory system, because the digestive system eliminates waste from the body that was unusable the unusable part of food that you ate. Okay, it's not really from cellular activity waste, but it's waste from digestion that you weren't able to digest, or you didn't use it, so it becomes waste. So that the difference between the digestive system waste and the excretory system waste, excretory system. So the excretory system eliminates waste from cellular activities. Okay, so when cells are undergoing the mitochondria actually doing cellular respiration, they produce the carbon dioxide. When your cells are actually breaking down your food into, especially breaking down proteins, it's going to release ammonia as a waste product. And so the cellular activity waste is where the excretory system comes into being. Now, it's a close partner with the circulatory system because your blood circulates through the body and it passes through the nephrons of your kidneys, and your waste in the form of ammonia is removed, okay, and changed into urea. And most of the water is reabsorbed into your blood and therefore returned to your body. So those are just some extra parts. Let's take a look at the kidneys. So blank enters and passes through millions of tiny filters called blank. So blood enters, and the filters are called nephrons. And this liquid waste is carried in the blood and collects in the nephrons. We could have also put ammonia, but it's liquid. And that is what forms urea or urine. Now, from your kidneys, it's going to go to these long tubes which pass urine out of the kidney and into the bladder. So your bladder is a sac-like structure that stores urine until it's eliminated from the body. And it is eliminated through a tube that passes urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. And that tube is called the urethra. Your urine is liquid waste that is filtered from your blood. And, we should have done this one before. The skin is also an excretory organ. It serves as an excretory organ when you sweat, such as ridding your body of water and salts, specifically urea salts. Okay, so we're going to cut this out and we'll glue it onto page 33.